Hello and welcome to Tracy Mommy Reads. I am back again with another video. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing 10 rapid fire questions in an attempt to let you guys get to know a little bit more about me. Some of them are bookish, some of them are not. I think it's maybe close to half and half. So without further ado, let's get started. And I have to look at the questions, so, they may not be as rapid fire as intended. So first question, what are you currently reading? I am about to start Anna Huang's latest book, King of Sloth, which I think is the last in that series of books that she did. I've read all 4 of the books. I think I've talked about one of them on the channel. And like I've said before, there are some books that I just read for my own enjoyment. And it's not a whole lot I can say about them. They're just guilty pleasures. I mean, I don't feel guilty about them, but, they kind of fall in that category. Nothing too deep or nothing too philosophical or things that I really want to wax poetic about on the channel. One day I may do that, like kind of highlight some of the books that I've read in that genre or in that realm and just give you guys my 2 cents on them. So you just have to wait and see on that one. What was your first job? My first job was when I was 16 years old, and it was at McDonald's. This was back in 1986. It was a job that I got through a high school program. I don't know why they always put kids at places like that. It seemed like we should have been, because it was a cooperative education program. And I feel like I could have got a job at McDonald's on my own. I feel like, those type of jobs. Now, some of my friends did get to go work like at Telecheck or with a bank. My husband was saying his sister got to work at NASA. Those are kind of jobs, if you have partnerships with businesses, that schools should try to get kids so that they could see the type of, jobs that are out there and that are available. But nevertheless, I worked at McDonald's, did not last because I didn't like going home smelling like French fry grease. So that was over pretty quickly. Your favorite subject in school? English, of course, because I love to read and write. So that was always my favorite subject. I always made straight A's in English. And fun fact, we once had to write a short story in my high school English class, and the teacher picked my story to read because she said it was one of the best ones that were written in the class, in that particular class. So anyway, last book you read. The last book I read was First Lie Wins. I just finished that one last night as of the recording of this video. And I am so... it sounds odd to say this because usually people say, oh, I'm so far behind. I'm so far ahead, y'all. I have so many videos recorded and so many books I've read. But I think I'm going to have to switch some stuff up because I know First Lie Wins is really popular right now, and I kind of want to get in on that conversation. So maybe next week after this video, maybe I'll have it posted then because I really did enjoy it. So stay tuned again for that. Advice you'd give your 18-year-old self. Geez. I would say to my 18-year-old self, girl, focus more on your writing, because I feel like if I would have started earlier, maybe taking it more serious, who knows where I could be right now, because I feel like I'm just now hitting my stride because I abandoned it, for a long time, just kind of writing just for me, little random snippets of stuff, but never took it seriously until I published my first book, in my 40s. But yeah, definitely would focus more on my writing, maybe taking some classes. Invest your money. Even though I didn't have a lot or I wasn't making a whole lot, the little that I had, I probably could have done something better with it. Because I do know, I remember I was working in a bank in my early 20s. And again, not making a whole lot of money, because I was living on my own. So there was a girl there who she was a new accounts person, and she was really into finance and all this stuff. I wish I would have really hooked up with her in a way and listened to her instead of being like, oh my God, here she comes. Because you don't want to hear what people are telling you when they're telling you something right. Well, she kept going on and on telling me, you need to get into 401k. You need to get into 401k. And I was like, girl, I don't make enough money to get into 401k. And she, did that whole thing. Well, if you can buy this or get your nails done or this and that, you can get into 401k. Y'all, I think she wore me down like after a year or two, and I finally got in the 401k. I think they were taking out like the minimum 1 or 2%. And to this day, even though I haven't worked like, officially with a company or had a thing where money's been coming out consistently, for the 401k plan, I was in it for years, decades. I have a nice little nest egg. And right now, because my money is still in my last employer's plan, that compounding interest is doing me well. So I'm going to have some, something nice when I finally do hit retirement age. But I wish I could have gotten more into investing and really understood that piece and made my money work for me. The last thing I would tell my 18-year-old self is to stay ahead of the curve on technology, because I had always been fascinated in things like that. I remember having a GeoCities account. When we had a book club, like I made us a little website. So technology and things like that always fascinated me. And I just also think about, because everything is hindsight, is always 2020. I always think about, had I been like on MySpace or, been one of the first people to be on Facebook or started that blog or whatever and been consistent with it, given, the era we're in now where all of that pretty much rules, who knows where I could have been, But I also believe that the path that you're on and the journey that you take is the one that's meant for you. So no regrets. Okay. Best advice you've ever gotten. Again, in my 20s, when you're in your 20s, you think you know everything. You don't know shit. So there's a piece of advice I'm giving to you if you're like in your 20s and you think you know it all. But in my 20s, the advice that I got from somebody was that just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you get to take it out on anyone else. And it's so funny because I think Tabitha Brown, that's kind of like a mantra of hers now. And I know she signs off on a lot of her videos, and she's kind of been known for saying that, have a good day. And if you can't, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Somebody told me that in the 90s, like in 94 or 95, somebody told me that, because I was known to wear my feelings and my moods, and I still do to some degree, but I try not to, make other people miserable as a result. I'd rather just not talk to people or deal with people if I'm not, feeling my best, because I don't want to, punish them for something they had nothing to do with it, or don't even know what's wrong. And I think a lot of people do that. We take out our, frustrations, our anger, our sadness on other people, because like they say, that quote, misery loves company. It's so damn true. I'm trying to change that. I don't know if I was just thinking this myself or if I read this somewhere, because sometimes the lines get blurred, but I want to start having the mantra of joy loves company. So if you're joyful, you want people around you that are joyful. Number 9, books you will always recommend. Well, it just really depends on the genre, but if you're looking for fiction and relationship books, like fiction books that are, relationships, romance or whatever, I'm going to always recommend a Tia Williams book to you. If you're looking to read a memoir, Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, one of the best I've ever read. If you're looking for a mystery, at the top of the list for me is Rock, Paper, Scissors. And if you're looking for something more in the sci-fi realm, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So those would be my recommendations. And this last question, don't even know why I did this to myself, because I came up with the questions. When is your next book coming out? Well, I have a collection of novellas that I was going to put together, and some of the novellas got to be a bit too long. They're not quite full-length novels. So I was kind of like, oh my God, what am I going to do with these? because I don't want to just put out one novella. So I did rework 4 of them, and I'm doing the final edits on them, and have some, something that I think I'm going to be able to present maybe, over the summer. And it all came about so quickly because I was trying to put it together for this event that I didn't end up being able to attend. and I don't want all that work to go to waste. So I am gonna release it. It may not have the fanfare of some of my other books because I am still working on a full-length novel. But this year, this summer and maybe later this year, early next year, I'm gonna kind of get back into the release and getting my work out there because I was on a roll for a while. I've been putting out a book every year since 2015. And I think last year, or maybe, I don't know if it was 2023, I think was the first year I didn't put out anything. So hoping to remedy that in the coming months or next month or, in the coming year. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you learned a little bit more about me. And I will be back next week, like I said, with my review of First Lie Wins. I cannot wait to chat it up about that one. Make sure that you like this video. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that for me. Go ahead and click that that subscribe and that notification bell right now. And share this with someone who you think may enjoy my content. I appreciate you guys so much. Bye.